Disclaimer. Before this interview, Ken and I jumped on Zoom and realized neither of us could record it. So we small talked about my Wes Anderson books before we restarted on a separate link.
Look at this. The first time we've definitely ever met. Definitely.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Nice to meet you for the first time in my life. Wow. Lovely Wes Anderson booklets you have there.
Oh my God.
Grand Budapest Hotel. Wow.
Wow. That's amazing that you saw that for the first time and not in a Zoom.
First time ever in my life. And the way you situated all the books, just like a Wes Anderson film, just like Wes would. What would Wes do? He would do that.
Am I the British Wes Anderson? Is that where we're going?
You are, yes, yes.
Do you want to be in one of my movies, Ken? Straight up.
Oh, absolutely. You're Britt Anderson. That's just my new name for you.
This is also a verbal contract now, so you can't pull out. Otherwise, I will sue you for everything, Ken. I will sue you.
I think this interview's over. Bye.
Oh yeah, no, that sounds about right.
I can't record this. So sorry. I can't record. I'm trying.
Do not do this to me again, Ken.
Yeah.
Let's chat. I can see your voice. Because obviously you've gone from The Masked Singer, where you were a judge, and in the nicest way, Ken, you got it wrong a lot. Like in the nicest way, you looked foolish. I'm just saying.
It's very. I've just met you, and already you're with kind words. Thank you so much.
That's kind of what I do. But I mean, obviously, I can see your voice. You're the host. It's clever because no one can see you get it wrong. You put the spotlight. You put the spotlight on other people to look foolish, like, I don't know, Joel McHale. How does it feel giving him the chance to make him look like a fool?
It's great. Well, thank you for the kind words. It is really, it is great because my sister-in-law said about Masked Singer, on Masked Singer, she sees the comedic side of me, but on I Can See Your Voice, me hosting it, she sees the real side of me. So it's really nice that I just kind of pull it back, and I'm just kind of more concerned about just assembling the show overall and just being the glue to that show, as opposed to one of the key ingredients being glued on the Masked Singer. So it is a different role I play on each show, and I really like that just for that alone, for its academic side. You know, I just like playing both sides of that, and I really am just to even have a second season of I Can See Your Voice, just so grateful, because it's actually more challenging this year. It's a little harder, actually. I think it's one of the more, in a good way, more challenging game shows around. And so we have a new feature that is like a lifeline, like a golden mic. And for the holiday spectacular that just aired, like we had Shaq. It was just kind of our lifeline that the contestant can use in addition to the panelists for one of the rounds. And I thought that was really cool. And so they're just added, I think what I'm learning about unscripted shows, just like in scripted, you want to keep upping the ante, you want to tweak the format or do something to keep improving the show each season, just like you would on a scripted show every season. So I'm learning a lot as I go along, learning on the job, and it's just been so fulfilling to have a contestant and try to see if they can win life-changing money. I think that's the best aspect of the show for me.
When you said it's getting harder, I got goosebumps because I've not got a single one right yet.
Yeah, me too. It's a hard game. I mean, it's funny. I hadn't seen the episode since I filmed it, and so when I was watching the holiday episode, my wife and kids were guessing along as we're going along, and I was wrong on nearly all of them. It's crazy, and I hosted it.
Yeah,
it's crazy, and I was actually there, and I hosted it, and I was paying attention at that time. Apparently, not good enough because I was getting it all wrong. It was crazy.
One of my favorite parts of it is I love the introductions, because they'll bring someone on, it'll be like the fireman, and then he has to do some little pose like, I am a fireman. It's one of my favorite things, hands down. And I'd love to know, say you're on it, what is your pose and or introduction going to look like?
Oh yeah. I think it would be, oh God. I think it would be the doctor, or something like that. And then I would probably have a stethoscope like Leslie Nielsen in Airplane and just going like this. And then the stethoscope's already around my ears going, or something like that. I think I would just do my stethoscope to the camera.
Much better than what all I've got is like the internet interviewer. And it's just me in my pants like that.
You know what you would be, Daniel? You would be the Wes Anderson fan, and you would be like this.
Oh.
You would be situated somewhere in the back, like this, like a Wes Anderson film.
And I'd be wearing like a quail on my head.
Literally, it would just be like the use of space in film, space. Wes Anderson fan. It'd be like that. That's what you would be.
All of the songs I sing, no one's ever heard of them before.
Yeah.
All in foreign languages that no one knows.
A lot of Paul Simon songs, Simon Garfunkel songs. Yeah.
No one's really enjoying it. They're all just going, yeah, I can see what's sort of going on here. Yeah.
And then every time the camera's on you, you're further and further from the camera, yet symmetrical.
Yeah.
So I love it. So
always wearing something different. I'm just drinking soup out of a shoe or something.
Yeah. And then when you're called to reveal yourself, to reveal your voice, we see this intricate stairwell, and you're just walking around that whole stairwell and on the super wide shot, and then walking there, and literally all the grips and producers and myself are looking at the camera, and then just kind of waiting, and then still waiting.
Someone from Fox is on this call. Get me on season 3.
Yeah, we get Wes Anderson direct season 3.
Oh that's really easy to do.
That would actually be amazing. That would be amazing.
Oh my god.
Dude, it's just one super wide shot. That's all it is.
It's so easy. It's so easy being Wes Anderson. It's so easy.
He's just one of my favorite filmmakers. I just think his storytelling and his his vision is just outstandanding. Oh. But enough about Wes, Daniel.
Yeah, it's all about Ken.
Thank
Wes
you.
Anderson. That's what they say.
Thank you. It's all about this guy. I'd actually seen, and I was very flattered to watch the BBC version of "I Can See Your Voice," and they had the host actually let's see your voice, and it was so flattered because that was something that I had just on the pilot, just kind of just riffed, and just a few things. I don't really riff much on the show, but it was nice to see that kind of cemented as canon of the show, So I was very flattered. Yeah, there was elements of it. Yeah, that I unintentionally did, and to see other countries just kind of adopt the format is it was very incredibly flattering. Yeah.
It's really cool, and obviously season 2 is released very soon with some of your Community co-stars going to be on it, Alison Brie, and we have to say his name again, don't we? Joel McHale. Mercy booking,
last second booking, because someone more famous from Community dropped out. We get Joel McHale.
Do you want to know something tragic? He was the first ever interview I ever did. How tragic is that?
Sorry, honestly, if there's any way we could take that back. Well, you're talking to me, so I think that will help heal. It will help.
I'm deleting it straight off of my YouTube now. Now that I've got you, it was almost a stairway to get to you.
Yeah, absolutely. You got someone who was number 1 on the call sheet on Community. Now you have someone who was number 11. So it's really important. So, and 11 is, to me, is twice as better as 1. They're two ones.
2 ones.
2 ones. So I think I'm better in my worldview. That's very Gervais, David Brent. Logic.
Oh my God, Wes Anderson and Ricky Gervais. I'm their love child. Do you want to just talk all day? Because I'm loving this.
I would. All of my, David Brent's one of my biggest influences. And so there is just a lot of, and I was in London shooting a movie. So recently in the summer, and no, I love London, man.
Tell me about London. Where did you go?
I was there in the summer. I had filmed Mike Myers' limited series, The Pentaveret. So it's coming out next year. So one of my idols, had the best time, met Jennifer Saunders, got to work with her, who is a genius.
That's really cool.
And I'm working with the best in comedy, like Keegan-Michael Key, but just meeting Jennifer Saunders, she is like the Meryl Streep of comedy. I'm just in awe of her, just in awe. Just incredible.
Yeah. She's someone I would love to chat to.
Yeah.
Just to say
Absolutely.
thank you for Shrek 2 alone.
Yes.
Oh,
Right.
now
Yes.
that, you know how I said Ken and Wes Anderson? Wes Anderson movies and Shrek 2. Like, Shrek
Yeah.
2 is up here, hands down.
If Shrek 2 was shot more wide, it could have made even more money. That's what I'm saying.
Imagine if she's saying, I need a hero, but in black and white and French. Imagine. That would have got Oscars. It would have. Now, obviously, you're set to host New Year's Eve Toast and Roast with Joel.
Yep.
Firstly, and again, I don't want to rip him too much, but do you think it's a bit tragic that he's seeing you star opposite like The Rock, Bradley Cooper, Enrique Iglesias, and now he's all of a sudden trying to get really ripped just to get some attention from you? Do you think that's a bit sad?
Yeah. It's a bit somehow, even though he's working himself out so much to a degree where he's exhausted, but he's shredded, somehow I feel like he's exploiting my body. I don't know why. I just feel there's some sort of secondary gain from that. I do think that it is on a serious note, man. It's so nice to work with someone who I've known really since my career really exploded with Community and The Hangover, and someone who just knows me so inside out, and we can just read each other's minds. It's just of where to go comedically. It's so easy to work with him simply because we just know each other so well, not only personally but comedically. I just it's almost like it's like a teammate, on a football team. You just kind of know where that other teammate's going to go, and vice versa. And it's so easy. It's just like to the point where, I mean, it's been 13 years, I think, we worked together on some level, and we're like, yeah, it's the easiest job when I work with Joel. Yeah. Please don't print this.
That's going to be on Good Morning America. Ken Jeong is nice to Joel.
That will make the Mirror. He's nice to Joel. Item. Yeah.
I'm like Piers Morgan now, getting all of the jokes
yes,
out
you
here.
are. Digging dirt on how nice Joel is.
No, honestly, it was your podcast, Darkest Timeline, that made me want to do these interviews, that sort of thing.
Really?
I love it. I'm obsessed with it. Like, your one with Alison Brie, I think I've listened to 42 times over.
I'm going to tell Joel and Alison you said that. Thank you. That was my favorite interview too, because we did a few. She is a genius, and she was on there twice, and she just was so on fire. I was like, that means a lot to me, because me and Joel were like, I can't believe we did that part. And then Allison just stood out, and to have her on I Can See Your Voice season 2 is because of that, and so she had so much fun with us, and it was just so great. And Allie is a real fan of I Can See. She's seen all the episodes. She was a legit fan. So I think the whole production was really, A, they were happy to have a big star like Allie on the show, and then B, she knew every episode. She would sub-reference other episodes of I Can See Your Voice. Like, she knew it. And then the showrunner and director, like, wow, she really knows her stuff. Like actually way more than Joel. Like, we would tease Joel, and Joel was on and like would barely know the show, and then Allison knew every aspect of it. She's so funny.
I mean, it's a huge compliment, but also a little bit scary.
Yeah, it's a little bit scary.
Finally, one last thing. As I've said there, I've spoken to a few of the guys from Community. I've spoken to Joel, Danny, Yvette. Now, I'm so honoured to be speaking to you. But they keep saying they're going to let me in the Community WhatsApp group, and they have not done it yet. So, Ken, I'm solely relying on you. Can I get into this Community WhatsApp group?
I would let you in on the WhatsApp chat if I was invited. For some reason, Life is Imitating Art. Chang's not in it. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I mean, I am in it, but maybe I should leave the conversation. I should leave the chat just so I can so I can keep the narrative consistent. That like I'm not a part of the convo. It really is a lovely. I mean, as years go by, it's lovely to have that group, because we'll almost as a break from our own current lives, we'll just use it just to self-reference or do in-jokes from before, and just it's just a nice break in the day when everyone weighs in and wish each other happy birthday, happy holiday, those kind of things. It's a nice thing to have, and it's definitely. They'll always be a part of that community universe in me. It's definitely influence. It made me a better actor, just learning from Jim Rash, from Donald, and Allie, Gillian, and Danny, Yvette, and even Joel. I learned what not to do. So it's great. It's great. So
Well, you made me feel a bit sicky with that last name.
yeah, I know.
so-
I know. With that last, we can edit that last word. And
He's
even
the
Joel.
one reason I'm glad I'm not in the chat.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I think that's. I think I agree. I agree.
No, thank you so much for chatting to me.
Thank you.
You've
Really
been an
appreciate it.
absolute legend. I've wanted to do this for so long. So thank you, man.
Thank you. And thank you
Right.
for the Darkest Timeline shout out. That means a lot. That really does. It's so cool that you even listen to it. We just did it on our own dime, just for fun. We just did it just because of the quarantine. We just did it because we wanted to do it. So it
Yeah.
makes it even pure. Yeah.
No, it did. It really inspired me to do this, and now I get to talk to you about it. So it's great. Thank you, man.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Right.
Have a happy and safe holiday to you and your family.
Yeah, you
Thank
too, mate. Have a great one.